Climate change. This has been a very relevant problem in today's society, and for those of you who don't know what it is, let me give you a breakdown. So climate change is a change in global or regional climate patterns, in particular a change apparent from the mid to late 20th century onwards and attributed largely to the increased levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide produced by the use of fossil fuels. So us as a human species, we drive cars, we get oil, we burn trash, we kill cows. A lot of carbon dioxide comes from killing cows, if you did not know that, which I'll get into later. But it's heat. We generate millions and millions of pounds of heat a day, and it just goes into the air. It's not disappearing. It just rises and rises and rises, and we've done so many bad things that's actually affecting our Earth. And obviously, like a lot of people in today's society don't believe in it because it doesn't affect them. We don't see the effects of it right in front of our eyes, so we're just like, oh, it's not even there. But then in reality, it's happening everywhere. We had, this year alone, or these past 2 years, we had like 4 big fires in California, and that's because the heat. It was so dry, and there was a lot of heat waves in California. California's a lot hotter than what it usually was, and boom, fires. Huge fires destroyed like millions of acres of, not millions, like thousands of acres of land in like 2 to 3 weeks, and we had like multiple fires. We had 2 big ones, one in October, one in February. And also another big thing, which I will get into later, is hurricanes, like catastrophic events. We had Hurricane Harvey this year in Texas, which destroyed millions and millions of dollars of land and buildings. That's all because of climate change. So those are like kind of 2 things that are very relevant in today's society. But let me get into it. So the evidence of climate change there's a lot, and it's all coming from NASA. So this is NASA has an article about this. First off, one of the main things is the global temperature rises. So it might not seem a lot, but the planet's average surface temperature has risen about 1.62 degrees in Fahrenheit since the late 19th century, and the 5 warmest years on record has taken place since 2010. 5 warmest years on human record have taken place since 2010. And 2016 was the warmest year on record, but for 8 of the 12 months that make up the year. That's crazy. Like in all of human record, this has been the hottest it's ever been. Shrinking ice sheets. This is a problem because 127 billion tons of ice per year shrinks every year because it's so hot. And this affects us because it gives our oceans rises a certain amount, and it was like 4 inches a year. And it affects a lot of planet life or animals. So like polar bears are dying, a lot of animals are going extinct, polar bears, penguins, everything up in the Arctic just slowly dying because their home is just getting destroyed by us, and we don't really realize it. Another thing is extreme events would be like Hurricane Harvey. And Hurricane Harvey this year, so it took place on August 25th, 2017, according to novad.org, and it caused $125 billion in damage. That is crazy. 125 billion had to be paid to repay all the damage done. And finally, ocean acidification. It's when the acid level of water in the ocean, it gets like uneven, and this is probably the worst thing. It kills ocean life. If it gets too high, it would just kill ocean life. Coral life, like fishing, all the animals in the ocean will start dying. And if we don't do anything about it, we're gonna kill our planet. It's gonna be uninhabitable. They said by like 2030, if we don't fix what our problems now, 2030, food would be scarce. It'll be too hot. There'll be hurricanes everywhere, and it's only the worst thing about it is it's only getting worse. We're not doing anything about it. So I'm here to tell you, what we can do about it. So couple things you can do as a person to help fix this problem. It's very small things, but any amount could help. So one huge energy saver for like energy emits a lot of heat too. So like cities, for example, light, a lot of heat, a lot of light pollution into the air. It just rises. So one of the things you can do is swap old incandescent light bulbs. So like this is the round ones, like the regular round ones, to new compact fluorescent lights. They're brighter, they're way brighter, and they're way energy efficient. They only use 25% as much electricity to give the same light, and this is according to climatekids.nasa.org. So a lot of energy will be reduced, even if it's a tiny bit. Every change matters. Unplug any electrical gadget you can turn on with a remote. So like TV, this can be kind of annoying, but we have to do it. We have to protect our country, our world. And it has a plug-in, like a lamp. We're not using it, unplug it, because when you're plugged in, you're still using energy. And energy causes heat to rise. Don't use AC or heat. They also takes up a lot of energy, also because people leave it on for like a long time. If people use it, they just leave it on because it's hot or it's cold, and once again, causes energy. A lot of other things is cars. Cars is a huge deal because people use cars every day. A 2-mile car trip puts 2 pounds of CO2 into the atmosphere. 2 pounds. So carpool, ride a bike, walk. If you're going to a drive-through, park the car and go inside. Any little change will make a difference. Like carpooling is a great place too, because like people don't carpool enough, and especially like if you go hang out with friends, or like take one car. Like go to the movies, take one car. But these are just some things you can do. Also reduce trash, like reuse things, like buy like like straws or anything, like buy like a metal straw, or like recycle. Recycling is a huge thing because they don't burn it. They burn trash or they dump it in the ocean. If you recycle, it's reused. And yeah, those are some things you can do to help climate change. But if we don't do anything now, we don't act now, we start changing the way we live, we won't be able to live here. Earth will be dead, and so will we.